Hi, my name is Leslie Salinas and my phylum is on Dysentery. What is dysentery, you may be asking? So there are two types of dysentery. There is bacillary dysentery and amoebic dysentery. In general, dysentery is a bacteria that infects the intestines and causes the stomach to inflate. It is caused by protozoans, which is a one-cell organism, such as an amoeba infection. So bacillary is a bacteria that is its most common type. One can get this by simply having poor hygiene or consuming tainted foods like raw meats or fish and unwashed fruits and vegetables. Amoebic dysentery. So amoeba groups together and forms cysts. So cysts come out of the body in human feces. Amoeba can also contaminate food and especially water. It is very important to wash your hands after using the toilet. Clean hygiene reduces one's risk of passing this on to someone else. And flies, they play a big role in dysentery because what do flies do? They land on feces and they land on people's food, and that involves a lot of bacteria and viruses on the fly's hairs and legs. So if you ever see a fly that lands onto your food, do not eat that food, or you can take a risk and tear off that piece that it landed on and not eat it, because most likely that fly vomited on whatever it landed on, and it could be putting a lot of viruses onto your food. So don't take any risks and don't eat the food that it lands on. So the symptoms for these dysenteries, there's mild symptoms, have slight stomach aches, cramps, and diarrhea. In some cases, people who get dysentery also develop lactose intolerance. So symptoms for amoebic is fever and chills, nausea and vomiting, and watery diarrhea, which can contain blood, mucus, or pus. And if one has this, they should definitely go see a doctor. And for bacillary symptoms, it's mild stomach cramps and diarrhea. It has none of the mucus or pus or blood coming out in the diarrhea. And so there's some pictures of cramps, diarrhea, and of course the fever and chills. And I have a case study here for y'all. It's actually very interesting. So these researchers studied on people who drank out of piped water and people who drank out of purified water. So they taught these people how to clean their water, and they did a study on who was sick more often, rather the people who drank piped water, people who drank purified water. So in the end, they found out that people who drank piped water had more diarrheal illnesses over than the people who drank out of purified water. So I'll read it to y'all. It says they interviewed residents of 240 households, 120 with and 120 without access to piped water. Residents of 62 households without piped water were trained to chlorinate their drinking water at home in a narrow-necked water container with a spout. All study subjects, 1,583 individuals, were monitored biweekly for self-reported diarrheal illnesses over a period of 9.5 weeks. The home chlorinated intervention group had the lowest diarrheal rate, to 28.8 out of 1,000 subjects per month, despite lack of access to piped water in their homes. Compared with the two groups that did not receive the intervention, this rate was 1/6 that of the group with no piped water, 179.2 out of 1,000 subjects per month, and 1/3 that of the household with piped water, 75.5 out of 1,000 subjects per month. More than 30% of the households with piped water lacked detectable levels of chlorine residues in their drinking water despite two-stage chlorination of the source water and were at increased risk of diarrhea. 42% of those users reported that water pressure had been intermittent within the previous 2 days. The dramatic reduction in diarrheal rates in the home chlorination intervention group indicates that a large proportion of diarrheal disease and mucus are waterborne. The home chlorination group had less diarrhea than the group with piped water, implicating the distribution system as a source of disease transmission. So basically this means drink purified water to prevent from drinking any bacteria. So drinking water, purified water, is very, very important, especially if you're traveling to a tropical area where clean water is not always available. Always bring bottled water. Bring your own clean water. You do not want to get this in your system. Treatments for dysentery is very simple. So drinking plenty of liquids. A person loses a lot of fluids in cases like diarrhea and vomiting, and drinking lots of clear fluids will usually heal a person within a week. So that's usually if you have the most common dysentery, which is the bacillary dysentery. You drink a lot of liquids and you should be cured within a week. Now, if you have amoebic dysentery, then antibiotics is mostly common because of your severe diarrhea. So antibiotics is one's best choice. So of course drinking clear liquids is something one should do, and antibiotics are most helpful. Preventing dysentery is very easy. Dysentery is caused by poor hygiene, so one should always wash their hands after using the toilet and wash them before cooking. Another way to prevent dysentery is to be sure to stay away from uncooked foods and always drink purified water. So this concludes my presentation. I hope y'all learned some fun facts about staying clean to stay away from dysentery. I really hope y'all enjoyed this. Thank you.